Michael Bidwell introduced Mike LaFleur as the new head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, and then poof, he was gone. Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Cardinals, Alex Clancy here. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast platform. Michael Bidwell and his disappearing act. He was supposed to, like he always does, go live during a week of this local radio show here in Phoenix. He is not on the list. Neither is Monty Ossenfort this year. And while it's like, things change, people have plans. Maybe he had a facial and waxing he had to do. Who knows what Michael Bidwell does during the offseason? But it's just the culmination of things since the introduction of Mike LaFleur, where he forgot Mike LaFleur's wife's name, I believe, fumbled over Matt LaFleur's family's names, all these things that, anybody who had any sort of semblance of caring would never do. They all just come into this nice little package with a bow tie. And that is Michael Bidwell as an owner of the Arizona Cardinals. The 2025 NFLPA report card named 3 owners. One of them was him, but how didn't really know if he really cared about putting together a competitive product. That was paraphrasing in the grievances, or in the actual article itself, for the report card themselves with the explanations. And it lends me to think one thing. When things go poorly, he goes away. And this isn't an original story. It's like, well, duh. Okay. We haven't seen this over the last 3 seasons, because these last 3 seasons were supposed to be the future. These last 3 seasons with Jonathan Gannon, Drew Petzing, and Nick Rallis and Monty Ossenfort was supposed to be Michael Bidwell's reclamation project. I moved off of my best friend, Steve Keim. I moved off of Kliff Kingsbury before he even got into the extension part of his contract. I did it. Like a big boy, I did it. We're going to cast a wide net. We're going to do all this stuff. I'm going to be the face. I'm going to be here. I'm not just going to be, a shell of a politician who just says the right things and, then just hikes up season tickets and puts in the casitas. They're supposed to be card seatas. They're supposed to be card seatas, not casitas. It's card seatas. And then after the 2025 NFLPA report card came out, 2 days later, he made this unveiling. Oh, there's plans to have this new practice facility. We had it planned the whole time, man, or so I'm sure he said. No. It was just 3 off seasons of scathing reviews about you and your organization, not only in the locker room, but how you treated people. And by locker room, I mean what they look like, what the strength and conditioning situations look like, locker room wise, facilities wise. So now, the season didn't go well, 3-14, obviously. Got a new head coach, was kind of mocked for the process and how they weren't able to get somebody sooner. And now, poof, Mikey's nowhere to be found. Just like he was in 2017 and 2018. Those forget. 2018, we didn't even know what Michael Bidwell looked like that year. Steve Keim came out, I think it was 2018, 2019, something like that. Came out with this massive beard. It's like he went into hibernation. Nobody had seen him. They don't talk to anybody. When things go bad, they hermit. At least, and I'm not saying, at least Jerry Jones is always there. At least Arthur Blank is always there. And Arthur Blank went through one of the most embarrassing 70 minutes of football that any football owner could ever have gone through in that Super Bowl up 28-3. He was there on the sideline. He is always there. And it's not just to win an award from a company that he either, donates to or was spearheaded by a former Arizona Cardinal and Anquan Bolden. Michael Bidwell is an absolute joke. But at least over the last 3 years, he was present. At least over the last 3 years, he did what he said he was going to do. And I give him credit for that still. I'm not taking that back. He did what he said he was going to do. Cast a wide net. He did. Give Monty Ossenford autonomy pretty much. He did. He did. They spent money. They extended players. They got good players. They didn't miss out on players outside of Milton Williams. Milton Williams got, over $100 million. It was insane. And the Patriots spent like $300 million last offseason. He did everything he said he was going to do. But then, when things don't go well, he hermits. He hermits. And that's where we are now. What does it look like? What does that look like when he's not going on 98.7 this week, when they have lined up interviews like they do once a year? Why? Why is he not there? I'll give you my thoughts. Roll on here. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day.
Hey, it's Matt Derry from the Locked On Lions podcast. The people I love depend on me. If I'm gone, the financial responsibilities don't disappear. I didn't want my family figuring things out during the hardest moment of their lives. That's why I knew only one place to go. I chose life insurance through my friends at Ethos. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy, 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exam. You just answer a few simple health questions. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies are as low as $30 a month. I love the folks at Ethos. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos now by going to ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. In as little as 10 minutes, you can get the free quote and up to $3 million in coverage at ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. That is ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. Ethos.com/LockedOnNFL. Application times and rates may vary.
Is also brought to you by Indeed. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill is still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, there is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for: skills, experience, location, so you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute that I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get you to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Michael Bidwell disappearing act. Not me. I'm here every day with you guys. Supposed to go on 98.7 like he normally does. Is not. Is he in Tahiti? Is he on a cruise through Alaska? Obviously, there's no real indicator as to one reason or another why neither Monty Ossenford or Michael Bidwell are, where they normally are this time of year doing their hit on that local radio show. Okay. The Cardinals need a unified front now more than ever. And it seems like it feels like we are now where we were right before they hired Kliff. So much more uncertainty off a 3-win season, just like it was the year before when they fired Steve Wilkes. It feels like Michael Bidwell is disappearing. And I was going to do a completely different, show today on this. I was going to do more of a Malik Willis thing. I talked about that in the morning show. But it's just like my action potentials are firing. I know, odd for me, but they were actually working for once. And I'm just starting to have this flashback to when he was never around. He was there during games in his ivory tower, with Steve Keim, never answering, never talking to the media. Steve Keim never talking to the media, just letting things happen, letting things go awry. And I defended Michael Bidwell for the last couple of years. It's like, oh, Michael Bidwell sells the team. It's like, listen, they've got something cooking, especially after the 2023 season going into 2024. It's like, all right, Kyler's going to be healthy. See what's going on here. Going into 2025, especially, I'm like, okay, well, this is the grand opus. This is what everybody's been working for. He's 2025. I thought it was going to be a 2-year rebuild. 2025 was going to be the year. And then we witnessed what we witnessed, which was a massive, massive backtracking in production and positivity and any sort of functionality. So obviously this is still kind of moment by moment. I'm sure they're working on Kyler Murray trades. I'm sure they're working on a lot of other stuff for roster construction right now. But this is normally the time when Michael Bidwell disappears, when things are going the opposite of right. And there are more questions than answers, questions he doesn't have the answer to. Not necessarily because he's not a football guy, and that's really one, but also because, like, you know what? I don't really care about anybody but myself. So I'm just not going to do what a normal owner would do in this situation. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.